getlovedreamingpeach.com.
Auto-generated captions may contain typos.
I would have an abortion. Part 3. I think I ended off part 2 with these self-righteous people who claim that their God, their religion, their morals, their values, they care about life. But that is such a complete hypocritical thing to say, because how can you say you care about life when you're telling a living person, an already formed human, that the potential life inside of their body matters more to you than their life, that what they're going through, their emotional place, their physical place, their financial place, their spiritual place, the place that they are in their life, whether or not they're being abused, whether or not they're an abusive person, whether or not they already have children. Like, literally none of it is your business. It's absolutely none of your business. Just like when I had a cyst on my ovary, that was none of your business. Now you might say, yeah, but that couldn't have formed into becoming a life. Well, my doctor at the time wanted to remove my ovary. That's what spawned me to stop going to allopathic medicine and stop following Western medicine after many, many years of following what they said and doing what they said and taking some of the drugs that they gave me and some of the surgeries and on and on and on, and me seeing myself getting worse and worse and worse with no real understanding. I mean, yeah, they had all these tests and they had all these different words. Oh, you've got endometriosis. And then another doctor, no, you don't have that. You've got PCOS. You got polycystic ovarian syndrome. Another doctor says, oh, no, you don't have that. You've got amenorrhea. You got... And what I really had was poor diet. I had a lot of unseen, unhealed wounds around being a mother. I had a lot of tension. I had a lot of trauma. And for me, like, I don't know about what you have. I don't know what's going on with you, but when I stopped eating dairy, when I started eating more cooked vegetables, when I essentially just became vegan, I stopped eating as much sugar. That was another thing. I used to believe that because I was addicted to sugar, that the sugar and the dairy mixture was, doing a real number on my uterus and my ovaries and all my hormones and all that stuff. Okay, my whole fertility journey, infertility to fertility to being a mom of 2 kids, 2 beautiful, healthy, lovely, amazing boys. And so at this stage in my life, I very likely would not ever get pregnant, Of course, like some women talk about, I don't like to speak words and thoughts to things that I would not want ever to happen, but it happens every day where women get, or I shouldn't just say women, but people are SA'd, and the unthinkable thing happens, and I'm still fertile. Like I was saying, I'm not in menopause yet. I could end up pregnant unwantingly. Or, what if I meet someone and we start dating and then, I was to get pregnant? What if I was in my mid-50s and I ended up pregnant and I had to decide, like, I've got 2 mostly, not grown. I mean, let's say 2 or 3 years from now, I have 2 teenagers, not in that, like, maybe I would be in a better place financially, but it's like, do I seriously want to do that to my body at this age? Like, I want to start building my business. Like, there's so many things, like, people think about being a teenage mom, a young mom, a young poor person or something like that, but like, you could be studying, you could be rich, you could have a million reasons. Like I said, there's infinite reasons why somebody may not want to actually have a baby that they got pregnant. I also have another unique perspective, like I said, as the ex-daughter of a sex worker, or as the ex-daughter of some motherfucker who abandoned me, or I should just say the fucker mother, the fucking mother. else. Anyway, as a younger person, like not a baby, but like I remember from a very young age strongly feeling that if a woman is going to abuse and abandon and harm her child, like if she would literally rather do that than give birth to that baby, again, for whatever reason, then let her do that. Because why would you force someone to go through being pregnant and giving birth and having a child, and like the whole idea of like, well, just give it up for adoption? It's like, how dare you make that decision for someone else? You have no idea what it's like to be born to an extremely abusive woman who was so selfish and self-centered in her own life. She's smoking and drinking and fucking and for money, and the fuck right there in front of me for the first almost 5 years of my life. I'm watching my biological mother fuck countless guys like it ain't no thing, but she can wear a string as a fucking job. She don't care. She's got absolutely no fucking mind. Like, here we are 50 fucking years later, and this bitch all she could say to me is, I got no shame. I ain't got no shame. It's just a job. Bitch, you fucking destroyed my life in myriad of countless plethora of ways. Should I heal and be all great and fine and dandy? Yeah, but what the fuck does that have to do with somebody else having an abortion or what I had been through? And if I had not been sterile at those times in my life, I could have got pregnant so many times by countless. Like I said, I have been SA'd. I have been SA'd through my whole life. Luckily, like I said, I have been blessed to be, the owner and control of my own body. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. What goes into my mouth, what I eat, what I drink, what gets injected into me, what gets penetrated. Like, I choose. I get to choose. No one else gets to tell me what I'm going to do with my body until I'm fucking dead, and then they won't have control over it anymore, and it won't really technically be mine anymore because I won't be there. It'll be somebody else's, my children to take care of, do the things with. Okay, but up until then, no one has a right. This is my eminent sovereignty. This is the land that I own. Even if I were to own soil, grass, I still have to pay taxes on that motherfucker. Even if I were to buy a house, hopefully someday I'll be able to, still gotta pay taxes on that. So I'm a bitch. But there's got to be something that's sacred. You claim to say life is sacred, but yet you think that you can just break through the boundary of somebody else's sovereignty, own bodily autonomy? You have the nerve to say that you believe life is sacred, but yet you think you have the audacity, you have the right to penetrate into somebody else's physical autonomy and tell them what they have to do with their life? Their life. That mother is a life. That woman is a life. That person who's impregnated person is a life. How dare you say that living, breathing life is not more important? Is not even as equally important. You think that the cells that are growing inside of the person who they're growing inside of, that it couldn't survive without that person. Take them out and they are not going to survive. That is not a separate being until that person gives birth to that baby. There's some point in pregnancy where if the baby were to come out, it could survive, and you could argue that, and I don't have a problem with that, but I certainly have a problem with other people telling other people how much their life is worth and what they ought to do with it or what they're allowed to do with it. It's reprehensible in the worst way, and the hypocrisy is so in your face. It's like balls to the walls in your face. Like, how dare you? You're so delusional. Oh yeah, and a sad edit that I think in part 1 there was a typo in the auto-generated captions where it said that the guy that was not my real dad, that my biological mother had lied that he was my real dad, even though she knew that he wasn't my real dad, and she did it, number 1, out of spite to hurt my real dad, and number 2, to get double the child support. But anyway, it said that he saved me in the auto-generated captions, but no, he didn't save me. He S-A'd me, among other, like her customers.
GetLoveDreamingPeach.com